everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com, here to do your monthly angel card reading for May 2019. Can you believe that it's May already? One more month and we're halfway through the year. It's hard to believe this time is just flying by. So for this monthly reading for May, we're going to be talking about the astrology as we often do, talking about the vibration of the month as a whole, as we always do. The messages from the cards is going to be coming from the Power Angel Tarot deck by Radley Valentine. That's going to be the main message for everyone. There's also going to be a card shown from the Syrian Starseed Tarot deck, which I often like to show that vibration of the month from that deck. And your special message card this month, depending on your stone of choice, is going to be coming from the Black Moon Astrology cards by Susan Shepard. I used this, I think, for the first time in my last weekly reading. I might have used it once before that, but it's a really great deck. It's astrology based, obviously, and I think you're going to like it. So let's take a look at your stones of choice for the month of May. Now, I did some of my special intention pendants. I've wrapped a bunch of stones because I actually did a conscious living fair yesterday, and these are some of the pendants that I have left over from the fair. So the first one is a beautiful purple fluorite. This one happens to be wrapped in gold wire, and the purple fluorite is known as the genius stone. It helps you to absorb a lot of information. It helps your mental faculties. It also, though, expands your consciousness, and it gives an overall greater mental capability as well as spiritual and psychic awareness. Your second stone of choice is this purple lepidolite. All three of these stones are purple. Now, the purple lepidolite is a stone of transition, and this one helps you to release old psychological patterns, and it gently induces change to happen. It's also great for emotional healing, and it helps to dissipate negative energy. And then your third stone of choice, again another purple stone, is a beautiful amethyst cluster. Again, this one's wrapped in gold wire. I forgot to say the lepidolite's wrapped in silver wire, but again, these are all special intention pendants that I've created. And the amethyst, a lot of us know amethyst, and there's a lot of different qualities of it. And some of those qualities is that it heals emotional issues, and it also heals physical ailments of the nervous system. Why is that? Because it's the stone of peace and calm. This is known as the gem of fire by the ancients, and it creates this energy of fire and passion and creativity and spirituality. So again, your stones of choice for the month of May is purple fluorite, purple lepidolite, or the purple amethyst. Okay, so let's start by talking about the energy of the month of May. So the numerology vibration of the month of May adds up to a 17, which reduces down to the number 8. How do we get that? We always get that by taking the universal year in question. 2019 adds up to the number 12. So we're in a 12 universal year for everyone, for the collective. And then we take the number 12 and we add it to the month in question. And the month of May is the 5th month. So 12 plus 5 is 17. Now 17 is not a karmic number, and it's not a master number. So we're going to reduce it down to the number 8. We always want to look at that lower vibration anyway. And the number 8 is all about our sense of power. Now, I'm going to come back to that, but on an earthly third dimensional level, the number 8 is about business, career, finances, money matters. And so all of these things are going to be a focus for the month of May. Okay, we're all going to be focusing on, furthering our career path, life path, destiny path, dealing with financial processes, or dealing with money matters. It's also a number of authority, so this is a time to own our authority and be in our confidence and stand in our courage. On a spiritual level, again, the number 8 is about power. Well, empowerment, really, because of course power is a 3D kind of thing too. We think about power and control issues, which the month of May can bring up some of these power and control issues. But on this highest spiritual level, the number 8 is about empowerment. So this is going to be a month where we need to own our power, take back our power, merge with our power, and really just stand in that spiritual power of who we are. Okay? Now, let's look at the number 17, only from a tarot perspective, because I always, when I do the monthly angel card readings, I liken it to the vibration of one of the major keys in the tarot. And the 17th Major Arcana, because we're not going to reduce it down, because the number 17, in the Major Arcana, we have 21 keys, actually 22, because the full card is the 0. But the 17th Major Arcana is the Star card. And again, this is from the Syrian Starseed Tarot by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha. I think I forgot to mention their names. And the Star card's a great card, okay? We came off of last month, the month of April. And of course, the month of April was a 16 numerology vibration, which related to the Tower card, meaning a lot of major changes and circumstances and situations around us, to put it in a simplistic terminology. But when we get to the 17th Major Arcana, now there's hope for the future. The Tower card has already happened. It's torn down the old structures of our life, It's kind of come down with that lightning bolt and said, no more, whatever you thought was stable and secure, whatever you thought was grounded, there was, some changes that were occurring. Now the changes could have been internally, but typically the Tower card deals with external changes. Now the next key, the Star card, is our hopes, dreams for the future. Now we are looking towards the future to see what it is that we can creating towards our dreams, trying to understand what the next steps are to manifest our dreams. I love this, imagery, and when we think of the Star card, we think of the universe, at least I do. I think of the planetary energies, universal energies. You can see that the figure here, which is an Egyptian figure, is surrounded by the stars, okay? So we're reaching for something higher. We're reaching for the stars. We're reaching for that highest universal potential of where we can go next, what that next step is. And again, this is about moving towards what you long for, moving towards what your hopes are all about, and knowing that they can be accomplished because you have the universal energy behind you, assisting you, guiding you, giving you messages towards that. So it doesn't mean that in the month of May that all of your hopes, dreams, and wishes are going to come true in that month, but it does mean that this is a time that you can visualize, focus upon, take some actions toward, and really move towards, with a positive attitude, what those hopes, dreams, and wishes are all about, because this is the time to take that next step, even if it's a small step, take that next step towards that. Okay, so now let's talk about the major astrological energies for the month. Now, I leave the weekly readings to talk about, a lot of the, what do I want to say? The smaller energies of the month. Sorry about that. I just paused the video for just a moment. I wanted to make sure it was recording. So I leave the weekly readings to look at all of the astrology that's happening in that particular week. When I do the monthly readings, I can't talk about every single astrological aspect that's occurring because the video would be just way too long. So I usually pick out the highlights. And in the month of May, though, there are some planetary changes, which are the highlights. But as far as, big, heavier moving, slower moving planets and, any eclipses or anything like that, there's not a lot that's happening on that scale. Now, two of the planets that do seem to be highlighted this month are Mercury, the messenger, which deals with the mental realm and all forms of thoughts, ideas, and communications, and Venus, that kind of rules the emotional realm. It rules love and romance and relationship matters. It also does rule money and finances. These are called personal planets because they move a little bit faster. Mercury moves at a pretty quick pace, and Venus also moves pretty quickly through the zodiac signs. So whenever we have those personal planets that are connecting throughout the month or throughout the week to a lot of different planets, it means there's a lot happening in the activity of everyday life. There's a lot of things that are happening. And so this is, again, one of those months, the month of May. Mercury, and I'll just pick out a few, again, of these astrological aspects. But we start out in the beginning of the month with Mercury, again, ruling our thoughts and our communications. It's challenging Saturn, and it's challenging Pluto on the 1st and the 2nd of May. And so this can have us feeling a little frustrated or held back in our expression vocally, or even held back in our own mind with negative thoughts. Now, Pluto is there to help to transform them, but there can be some power and control issues, maybe in communications with others, with that Mercury and Pluto aspect. It does make a nice connection after those two challenging connections to Jupiter. So whatever that was all about with Saturn and Pluto on the 1st and 2nd, later in the day on the 2nd, Mercury connects with Jupiter. So there's some sort of positive resolution that may in fact even bring some sort of blessings or expansion of our ideas or expansion of network, communication with other people. Now, on the 6th, I'm going to stay on the Mercury theme. On the 6th of May, Mercury moves into Taurus. So it's moving out of Aries, which is that sign of new beginnings and initiation, where we may have initiated new thoughts and ideas or initiated communication with people. Now it's moving into Taurus on the 6th. And so our thoughts and our communications are much more grounded and thoughtful, and there's a slower pace with Taurus, and so we're not so quick to speak without thinking. So Taurus has us slowing down a little bit with our perceptions and thoughts before we actually speak. Taurus is about working and focusing towards something, building something. And so through our ideas and through our thoughts and through our communications, we're focused on building something that's solid and long-lasting. We're focused on using our mental capacities to manifest something. Taurus is a sign of manifestation. On the 8th, Mercury connects with Uranus, and so there's some quick and sudden insights. Uranus is that planet of higher dimensional God mind energy, so there's higher mental insights or new ideas that are coming in. That's a great day, the 8th, and even maybe the day before, where to brainstorm, either by yourself or with other people, brainstorm new ideas, new possibilities. Let's see, what else is Mercury doing? On the 18th, Mercury is making a positive connection to Pluto, so again, very deep insights. Pluto can rule the subconscious realm. It's a very deep kind of planet, and it brings about transformation. So there's some sort of transformation happening with our thoughts and our psyche, transformation through communications that we're having, and again, some very deep insights that can occur. Mercury challenges Neptune on the 29th, so this can bring in some unclear communications or wearing, I shouldn't say wearing rose-colored glasses, but yeah, maybe wearing rose-colored glasses, not communicating clearly with other people or not understanding other people, or just being confused in our own thoughts, in our own head. And then Mercury opposes Jupiter on the 30th. So there's, again, this expansion principle with Jupiter. So our mind can be expanded in a positive way through new ideas. And I guess I forgot to mention, by then, by the 29th and 30th, Mercury has moved into Gemini. So it moved into Taurus on the 6th. It's moving into Gemini on the 21st, along with the Sun. So that Gemini energy is very thought-provoking. Gemini likes to gather information and research things and understand things and communicate with people and communicate their ideas. And so, again, by the 29th and 30th, Mercury is in Gemini as it's challenging Neptune and then opposing Jupiter. Now, Venus is the other planet that I highlighted, and on the 7th, Venus is challenging or squaring Saturn. So that can leave us feeling a little insecure in love and in money. Venus is making a positive aspect to Jupiter on the 9th, which is very wonderful because Venus is a planet of blessings and Jupiter is the great planet of blessings. So there could be something really blessed happening, or some good fortune of some kind coming in on the 9th. But it's interesting that along with Venus in a positive aspect to Jupiter on the 9th, it's also in a challenging aspect to Pluto. So now we have some sort of transformation energy that's also coming in. And so there could be a little bit of a feeling of a challenge, along with this feeling of expansive blessings. And so it'll be interesting to see how that time period goes. On the 18th, Venus connects with Uranus. So again, Venus rules relationships and money. So there could be some sort of surprise with finances, coming in, going out. There could be some sort of surprise in relationship matters, either in a relationship you're already in, or maybe there's a new person that kind of comes in out of the blue. So, we'll have to see how that goes. And then at the end of the month, on the 31st, Venus is in a positive connection to Saturn. So Venus, by then, again, I skipped over when Venus transitions out of Aries, but that beginning of the month until the 15th, Venus is in Aries, that sign of confidence and courage and initiation. And this is like the divine feminine being strong, and taking charge and being a leader. By the 15th of May, Venus is moving into Taurus, okay? So this kind of, Taurus is a touchy-feely kind of energy. It likes tactile things. So in other words, in relationships, Venus becomes more, expressive of love, loving, and let's hold hands and let's hug, it's that kind of energy. So it's a really nice energy. Plus the fact that Venus rules Taurus. It does rule Libra as well, but Venus is the ruler of Taurus. And Taurus is, again, the money sign, the sign that rules money and finances. So Venus, one of the aspects of her is the ruling of finances, and she's going into her own sign. So again, there's going to be a highlight here with Venus and Taurus from the 15th of May through the end of May. So now with Venus connecting with Saturn at the end of the month in a positive aspect, it can help to bring in manifestation on some level of some sort of relationship or commitment, or even maybe a feeling of responsibility, but in a positive way. Or it can bring about some sort of manifestation process with money and finances. The only other two things I want to bring up, well, actually a couple. Mars is transitioning from Gemini into Cancer on the 15th. The same day Venus goes into Taurus, Mars is going into Cancer. So the first half of the month, Mars, the planet of energy and action, is in Gemini, and it's scattered and it's all over the place. Now, it can juggle lots of projects and do many things, but sometimes it gets lost in the chaos or lost in the confusion because Gemini tries to do too many things. So after the 15th, Mars is going to go into Cancer. So now we have a fire planet in a water sign. It might water down our physical energy a little bit or our forward momentum a little bit, but it's really great if we're putting our energy towards some sort of home projects or family gatherings, because Cancer rules home and family. And then I want to talk about the new moon and the full moon. So the new moon in May is on the 4th. It's at 14 degrees of Taurus, and so that means the sun and the moon are both at 14 degrees Taurus coming together. They're in a positive connection to Saturn. So again, there can be some sort of manifestation here. Taurus is an earth sign. It's about manifestation. Saturn right now is in Capricorn, very much, working towards some sort of goals on their life path. And so the new moon can be the start of, because new moons are about new beginnings, so it's a new beginning in the realm of manifesting something secure, manifesting some sort of security on some level. And it could be financial security, but there's other types of security as well. And then on the 18th, we have a full moon, and the full moon is going to be at 27 degrees of Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is that deep, transformative sign, transformation, regeneration, death and rebirth, power and control. It's pretty intense. Scorpio energy is intense, and that full moon is a cycle of completion. When we get to the full moon, it's about a completion phase. But when we come up to the full moon, it's really a heightening of energy. So we have a heightening of this transformative death and rebirth, power energy or empowerment energy that happens on the 18th. I don't think it connects with any other planets. I don't know if I've actually looked at that, but I think that as far as any major aspects, I don't know that it's really making any major aspects to any other planets. In fact, I don't think it is. But in and of itself, this is going to be a pretty powerful full moon anyway, because it's Scorpio. So let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides before we get to the special message card. Okay, the first card is, sorry about that. The first card is the High Priestess. Okay, so I've meditated and pulled the cards for the month. The first one is Major Arcana number 2, okay, the Priestess. Now the number 2 in numerology is about balance. So, in this month, I guess, with the High Priestess here, we want to stay in a place of balance. Now the High Priestess is a feminine energy. She's a powerful energy. Here we're, again, talking about, that empowerment with the Pluto aspects with Mercury and Venus this month. The message at the bottom actually says powerful psychic insights, reflection and meditation that provides valuable information. Be at peace. So isn't it interesting that I talked about, again, especially with Mercury and Pluto, is that there's these deep insights, okay, these deep and perceptive insights that we're having. And the High Priestess, again, a very powerful feminine energy that's connected to her higher soul self, that's connected to universal energies, that's connected to divine magic, and alchemy. And here she is bringing us some powerful insights this month. And the more we can kind of go within and understand our own workings of our own subconscious, the more we can think deeply about the situations and circumstances in our lives and in the relationships in our lives and what they are there to teach us, the more we're going to get out of this month. And in fact, it's going to kind of surface some valuable information, as this card says. There's valuable information coming to us as a result of thinking deeply, as a result of doing meditation, as a result of taking time to contemplate, whether you're contemplating the meaning of life or whether you're contemplating what the next step on your path is, or contemplating the purpose of a relationship, or the purpose of any situation, really. This is going to bring forth some sort of spiritual guidance, spiritual information that's important to you. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the next card. The next card it's a beautiful card. It's the Three of Gabriel, which is like the Three of Fire or the Three of Rods in the traditional tarot. Now, the number 3 numerologically has a very expansive feeling to it. It rules all forms of communications: speaking, teaching, writing, learning, expressing, expressing your your creativity in some way, shape, or form. And again, with that number 3 ruling all forms of communication, ideas, thoughts, again, Mercury was highlighted this month, so it's not a surprise to see this Three of Gabriel. Now, the message at the bottom says prosperity arising from wise planning, time to take the next step, optimistic plans that turn out as expected. So this is about expanding your perceptions and expanding your actions into taking some sort of steps that it's going to lead to positive results, that will lead to positive results, that you'd like to lead to positive results. So again, prosperity and abundance, wise planning. So again, through these deep insights and thinking deeply and meditating on things and trying to understand things on a deeper level, again, the situations around you, this is going to, again, this leads to wise planning to take the next step, to expand into the next step. The number 3 is a number of expansion. So here we can expand into the next step. And here we have a boat in the background. So it's almost like, taking a trip. We're getting ready to travel, to expand our mind. Now, it could actually bring in some sort of travel this month. There could be travel, there could be movement, and the movement could be, going to a new city, like a vacation, or it could be moving your home. But there's some sort of positive expansion and movement forward that's happening here. Spiritual movement forward, because it's the Gabriel suit, which is the suit of fire, the suit of rods, which is the suit of the spiritual. Again, stay optimistic. There's a lot of Mercury and Venus aspects this month, and even a couple with the sun, other things that I didn't necessarily mention, but there's a lot of positive things here that can happen. And remember, we're in the month of the star card, where we're focused on our hopes, our dreams, our wishes, and what we want to, what we desire to manifest for the future. Let's look at the last card for the month. And we have another Major Arcana. This is Major Arcana 20. In this deck, it's known as New Beginnings with Archangel Jeremiah. He's the archangel that helps us to review the past, whether it's reviewing the past few weeks, the past few months, the past, past lifetimes, whatever it might be. He's helping us to review the past so that we can move forward. And in a traditional tarot deck, it's called the Judgment card, but I like in this deck that it's again called New Beginnings. So here we are moving towards this idea of new beginnings, moving towards our hopes and our dreams of that star card. The message at the bottom says starting a new life, finding your purpose, a forgiving and compassionate review of the past. And it shows Archangel Jeremiah here over the mountains. I love that. You can see the mountains in the background here. I decided to do my video outside here in the backyard. But it has a family here. Looks like a mother, a father, 2 children here on either side. So they're getting ready to, it's almost like they're walking towards that mountain. They're getting ready to climb that mountain towards their dreams. Remember how I said reach for the stars this month? This is about reaching for the stars, reaching for something better, aiming for something higher. And this is what this family here with Archangel Jeremiah, who's kind of leading them, that's what they're doing. They're getting ready to traverse the mountaintop to get to a higher state of reality, to get to this new beginning precipice. So this is all in all a positive month. Now let's look at your special message card, depending on your stone of choice. Still getting over a cold, by the way. So some of you that watched my weekly reading have commented that you hope that I'm feeling better. I'm feeling a little bit better, but still not 100%. So anyway, let's shuffle the Black Moon Astrology cards. And for those of you that chose the purple fluorite, so let me just kind of give these a little shuffle here. And this one's calling my attention for the purple fluorite people. This one says Capricorn, you. So Capricorn is the sign that rules our life path, our destiny path, our career path. Taking the next step, working hard, focusing our efforts towards completing a project of some sort. The key phrase for Capricorn is I use, meaning that they're able to use the energies or the situation at hand to get to the next step on their path, okay? So this isn't supposed to be taken as a negative, like you're using people or something like that. This is like, okay, what are my resources? Do I have financial resources? Do I have friendship resources? Do I have creative resources? I'm going to use these resources to get to the next step on my path, my life path, again, my career path. So a lot of you, I think, are focused, and I love that it's master number 22 here. Master number 22 is a master number of manifestation and of power. And Capricorn is a pretty powerful sign. They have a lot of power behind them, again, to create and get to and manifest their goals. That's what Capricorn does. They work hard to get to the top of where they want to go and become a leader and become a manager, and they take charge. And so that's kind of a similar energy with the master number 22. So use that Capricorn influence, that Capricorn energy to get towards your goals, to move towards your hopes, dreams, and wishes in this month. Okay, for those of you that chose the lepidolite, let's give this a little shuffle. This one's calling my attention for lepidolite people. This one says Saturn return and age. Now, the first thing I think of course, is Saturn's energies. And Saturn, again, is the planet. Actually, it's the planet that rules Capricorn, interestingly enough. So Saturn, again, has that energy of working towards something, being responsible. Saturn is about responsibility. Now, a lot of astrologers or people will think of Saturn as limitation and restriction and karmic challenges. But let's look at the positive of Saturn. Saturn is about wisdom, and that's what I think of when I see that word age. With age comes wisdom. Saturn is the wise teacher, the teacher of lessons, or you could say the teacher of karmic lessons if you want to say that. But he's here to teach us something. He's here to teach us responsibility, and with age comes wisdom here. So don't worry about how old you might be, or don't worry about how long you might been trying to get to a certain place or manifest something in your life, whether it be relationship, career, money, whatever it is. because Saturn is the planet of patience. Saturn is the planet that rules time, third dimensional time. So oftentimes when we're having a Saturn transit, we're needing to, it's about timing. It's about, you know, it takes time to sometimes manifest our goals and our dreams, and that's okay. So take responsibility for, you know, where you're at in life, basically don't beat up on yourself is what it's saying, and use that Saturn wisdom that comes with age and that comes with time and that comes with being patient and working towards your goals. Saturn's here to teach you something, and in this month you're needing to really contemplate and understand on a deep level, what is Saturn trying to teach me? What has Saturn taught me? And then move forward. Take responsibility for the next actions that you take, and know that Saturn is here to help you to manifest something. Saturn's the planet of manifestation. Right, for those of you that chose the amethyst, okay, my eyes keep going to this card, so this is the card I'm going to choose. This is weird, the 10th house and the world. And why I think that's weird is because Capricorn is the sign that rules the 10th house in the zodiac. Saturn, the last card message, is the planet that rules the 10th house. You know, and Saturn rules Capricorn. So basically the 10th house, Saturn and Capricorn are all, you know, similar. It's in astrology. It's just weird. Okay, I'm very blown away that we chose all of these cards that kind of go together. 10th house ruled by Saturn and Capricorn. It's weird. So this says the world. And again, the 10th house is who am I out in the world? You know, again, it's like who I want to be out in the world, how I express myself out to the world, which is why it rules the career path. The 10th house rules the career path, the life path, the destiny path. And it's who I am out in the world, what I have to give to the world, the service that I give to the world, the respect I want back from the world. And you know, it's all kind of a similar kind of message here. Now, the number 34, and I guess I didn't mention was Saturn, the number 50, but the number 34 here is, again, this inner wisdom. It's this inner wisdom of the 10th house, Saturn, Capricorn energy that kind of comes into play here. And this is about, you know, who are you? Who are you not? Who are you to the world? Like, who do you want to be out in the world? And who you really are inside is different than who you are out in the world. You know, who you are inside is a spiritual being, but who you are out in the world is, what am I here to give to the world? What am I here to give to the collective? What am I here to share? What part of myself am I sharing out there with the world? And the world also is a completion thing. So remember how I said the full moon in Scorpio, and full moons are about completion. I feel like for you that chose the amethyst, something around, on or around the full moon is going to happen for you that helps you to understand more about who I am out in the world. So very, very cool. Again, there's a timing thing with all three of these, Saturn, Capricorn, the 10th house. Take your time, be patient, know that things are unfolding, and we have to be patient. Remember I said our hopes, dreams, and wishes are not all going to come into manifestation, you know, right in this month. But we're working towards that. That's what we're working toward. That's what we're aiming for. We're reaching for. So I hope you've all liked this monthly angel card reading. I want to thank all of you for subscribing and sharing and commenting and you know, everything as far as my videos are concerned, my Facebook posts are concerned. For all of you that have sent your love and well wishes for me to have a speedy recovery, thank you so much. And I send you all much love and light. And until next week's weekly reading, I send you all many angel blessings. Namaste, everyone.